with that, I want to say, I guess by way of final word, just to kind of give you guys a little something on the way out the door, and then we're going to get into praise report, prayer requests, and our brother Immanuel sort of set this up perfectly by how he sort of handled himself, acquitted himself with the that little snafu with the audio jumping in when he was doing his presentation. He just kind of like fell back, like he didn't even know that that was a recording. He thought that was just like somebody speaking. It was just like, all right, cool. And that's because Immanuel is a guy who's not afraid to move coolers. He's not afraid to move coolers. Let me explain what I mean. We were having I think we were at a staff meeting, bunch of pastors and I, and actually no, it was some other ministry leaders that were on staff with us, and one of them was a young man who came from an environment professionally where he was the bee's knees. He was that guy. Was a leader in a previous role, doing amazing things, high talented, right? And then he came to our church, and we have a little bit of a different culture. It's really a roll your sleeves up and get some stuff done. It's really about life on life discipleship. And a couple of us as staff were talking, and he was like, man, at my last gig, I was the man. I was doing all these great things, whatever. And now I come here, and they got me moving coolers. Right? They got me moving coolers. And he's on staff, right? And then he was talking about setting up for an event. And not too far from him, he didn't know this, one of our members, who was a middle-aged / older woman, overheard him and said, and that's why we love being at this church, because there's nobody here that's on staff that's above moving coolers, right? So the point I'm making is this: as men, sometimes we can be so full of ourselves. We don't want to learn anything else. We think we've covered it all, we've mastered it all, we've done it all, and no one can tell us anything. But are you the kind of man, as you're growing in kingdom manhood, can you be the guy who moves coolers? Can you defer when somebody's interrupting you, cutting you off in traffic? I'm saying that being convicted. My wife, she's standing right over here. She can hear me. She know I struggle in that area. But that's the calling. That's where we have to step up. That's the standard. And so just as you're going about your day, think about ways that you can sort of put yourself and your stuff down and look at someone else's interest above your own, because that's what the scripture says that we're called to, that let every man not only focus on his own interests, but also on the interests of others. All right, so that's the journey that we're on as kingdom men. All right,